This is Rebecca Liggero. Today I'm with David Sheridan. He is here representing mGage, and we're here today to talk about mobile payments and how they relate to the online gambling industry. But let's begin by talking about some of the transaction charges for charging to your mobile bill and how those compare to other payment methods such as credit card.
Sure. So that's been the elephant in the room here today, the fact that you could pay several times more for a charge to mobile payment transaction because of the charges levied by the mobile network operators. The key message is that even though it might be more expensive to undertake a transaction and charge to the mobile bill, the conversion rate is so much higher. The gambling operators can make that money back by way of having much higher conversion rates. So, for example, you might get 70% conversion rate on charge to mobile, whereas it might be more like 10% on credit card transactions. So you can end up with a scenario whereby you've got much higher volume, which offsets the fact that you're getting a slightly lower out payment rate.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, it's just so much faster, isn't it? One click. So tell me at what points along the user journey offering charge to mobile is going to be the best option for an operator?
Given that, particularly in the gambling industry, they're working to very tight margins, it may be that it's not appropriate to offer it all the time, but particularly if you're trying to acquire users and you consider it to be a marketing cost, or if, for example, a credit card transaction has been declined, it's quite rare that you would have an automatic option. It might be that you send a text message to a user, or there might be a pop-up to offer them an alternative. But if you can maintain that user through an alternative payment mechanism, then you can upsell the user at a later date and get them to continue using the service. So in particular environments like that, then it can be a very effective tool, and we're seeing that with a number of our clients.
How much room for growth is there in the UK market for online gambling operators to take more advantage of charge to mobile?
There's a major opportunity because it still remains predominantly the domain of specialist mobile gambling companies who are being very successful, but they don't have the presence and the brand recognition that some of obviously the high street bookmakers and the bigger internet-based companies do. It's not very technical from as a technology solution. However, there's still very limited knowledge from the gambling companies in terms of what's involved. So if we could overcome that barrier, then I think it would be possible for it to be significant uptake.
Fantastic, big opportunity here. David, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
This is Rebecca Liggero with David Sheridan. Thanks for watching CalvinAyre.com.